everyone, it's Nolan, and it's Thursday 26th of May 2022, coming up to about 7 PM here in the UK. One more day of trading before the weekend. Let's have a little look at some markets of interest and what we'll be looking for. Let's start with Euro USD, because that one's looking quite interesting at the moment. To show you the bigger picture, we do have Euro dollar bouncing from this 103, we'll call it 103.50 level here. As you can see, we found support here back in December 2016 and January 2017. We've come back into this zone, same zone, in May, and we've started to reject the zone. So, you know, looking for buys would make sense. So even though price is in this weekly downtrend, you've got to appreciate where price is bouncing from, if you like, at the moment, and we most probably will see buyers come into this market. Now, whether it comes back to the top of this trend line and beyond, we don't know, but we can assume that because we've come from such a major support zone that we're going to see some buying come in. And as you can see, this is the weekly chart. Last week and this week so far, still with a day to go, we've definitely seen buyers come in. So let's just have a little look at the smaller time frame. So we've got our bigger trend line here. We also have a smaller trend line here. Okay, so for any longs, this would really be the first port of call to take profit. Okay, if we break this trend line, then of course we can look to this bigger trend line as an area to target. So if we are looking for longs back into this trend line, then we'll need to see, or what I'd want to see is a correction on a smaller time frame, and then I'll be looking to go long towards this smaller trend line. Let me just put some moving averages on for a second. You can see those daily moving averages here. This is the 8 and the 20. They've crossed over, which is a good sign. It means that we're seeing some bullish price action here on the smaller time frames and the daily. What I would like to see is, I would like to see price come and test, at least come and test this 8 moving average on the daily. So come and correct towards this 8 moving average. Okay, from there, I think we could see buyers come in, but I will be anticipating that, but we'll see what happens. So right at this moment in time, I'm more looking at potential shorts towards this 8 moving average, which also matches up with, if you look, this little bit of daily resistance here. So it's about 106. We'll call it 106.30, but daily resistance there, which is broke. Just take those moving averages off, and let me just make this a little bit bigger. Resistance. We've had this wick down here. Now you could call that a retest, I suppose, a retest of that wick high there. But I'm looking for a little bit more of a deeper correction, because remember, I'm also looking for a test of that 8 moving average and a test of rejection actually. So short-term bias, and I do mean very short-term, is sells on euro dollar, but then looking for longs. So let's have another look at a smaller time frame. So this is the 4 hour now. You can actually see that we've got some very, very nice cyclicity actually on the 4 hour, and potentially this could be, in fact, it could be the next impulse to the upside. Although when you look at this impulsive move here, look at the candles, look how, you know, very, very bullish they are. Not very many black candles there, if you like, or Salah candles. Again here, look, nice strong movement, and here strong movement. This to me isn't as strong as what we were seeing here. So my thoughts are that what we're actually seeing in this part of the price action is actually a little correction of this move down here. So what we could be seeing, and I say could because we can never be 100% sure, but we're seeing an impulse, a correction, and we might see another impulse down back towards this zone, and then we can start looking for longs. Now, if that's going to actually happen, then I'll show you what I'll be looking for. Well, here is our suspected impulse down. Okay, we have our suspected corrective move here. So we can actually draw a bottom trend line there, could draw a top one as well. I'd like to incorporate some more candle wicks in there, something like that. So what could be happening now is we've come to the top of this, what could be a corrective structure. We've had a sharpish move down here on the 15 and a move up. What we could be doing is starting a move down now. Okay, something like this, and we come to the bottom here. Now what happens there is going to be very important. Do we do that, or do we break through, close below the bottom of this structure, and then potentially come down into my zone where I'm interested in then looking for longs? So there could be short-term sells on euro dollar. If you are looking for, if you've identified or an area here where you want to look to sell, then make sure that when price gets here, then you've at the very least got your stop loss to break even, so you're not in a you're in a risk-free position. Potentially as well, take some money off the table, bank some money. Obviously if it pushes through, then all good. But that is potentially what we're seeing on euro dollar, and we will be monitoring price to see if that plays out. So if that plays out, absolutely fantastic. I can see actually as well, looks like we've broken this trend line, have we? We've broken that trend line, but we've come back in it. So certainly have an alert set underneath this low, because if we break this low here, if this is an impulse, a correction, and we break this low and we continue down, then what I'm thinking is happening is actually starting to play out. So an alert, or keep an eye below this 15-minute low here. If we were to close below that low, we potentially are going to come and test the bottom of the structure where we could break out. So keep your eyes on that. If you're not a counter trend trader, then you'll be looking for that that correction just to play out, and then looking for longs again around about 10, we'll call it between 106.30, 106, somewhere around there. We want to start to see buyers come into the market. So that's of interest to us at the moment. Kiwi Cad, I'm not sure what I've talked about this one, but this is of real interest to me personally. I'm going to give you a potential trade setup that you may want to take on this. But if you take it, please make sure you've done your analysis and you agree with the idea. So we've got a lovely descending structure here. We've connected, or I've connected these tips of the wicks, extended it across, and we've come and retested a third time and rejected. And as you can see, we've seen quite a sharp move here with these daily candles. We had a bullish day, a negative day, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish days. So that, we were in a downtrend here. 5 bullish days from support could be a sign that we are potentially going to start moving again up towards the top of structure, which I'd say we could target about 0.86. Now, in a strong trending market, okay, I'll show you. I might have talked about this in a previous not webinar, previous video, I don't know, but in a strong trending market, especially on the daily, you know, sometimes we can get one candle pullbacks. Okay, so we've had a very strong move here, one candle pullback, and then we can basically go again. Okay, now you need to identify that there actually is some resistance here, as you can see. There's a couple of different trades actually you could take. Now, what I would say is that the less aggressive trade is a long. I would put the long above this high here. Oops, so somewhere around there, stops below this low here. Remember, this is a daily candle, so you need to wait for the daily candle to close first, but this is just as an example. Okay, and then you can target round about 0.86. I like to come out just below the big numbers, if I'm honest with you, so it's around a 2-to-1 trade. So if this is going to continue to push, then it's got to break these highs, it's got to break through resistance, and then you just basically leave the trade or manage it however you manage your trades, and potentially looking for a 2-to-1 there. Now, the more aggressive way to trade this is basically, yeah, we've still got that resistance, but you're aggressive in the fact that you're not too bothered about that, and you are or you have the foresight, if you like, that this is going to push up towards 0.86, and this resistance is just going to be broken. It's just a matter of time. Now, if you think that, then what you can do is the one candle pullback, which is a buy stop above today's bearish candle and a stop below the low. Okay, remember, you've got to wait for the candle to close and then target up towards 0.86, and all of a sudden that gives you a 3.69 reward to risk, 3.69 to 1 reward to risk. So just depends on what type of trade you are. Do you want to play it a bit more safe, or are you a bit more of an aggressive trader? I personally, I like the idea of buying above this candle, but it does have its risks because of that resistance here. So I'll leave that with you. The safer way, like I say, is a buy above resistance and the stop below this low here. And yeah, we'll call it a 2-to-1 trade. So it's not, you know, either way, if you take this trade, it's not bad. You know, 2-to-1, potentially doubling your risk there. So that's Kiwi CAD. Let's have a look at Cad Yen and Euro Yen, because they are technically looking really, really nice, but we're just looking for some sellers to come in. I'll show you what I mean. Cad Yen 2-hour chart, we've got some nice highs here, descending highs or lower highs, lower lows, just connected the tips of the wicks there, connected the tips of the wicks there. So you could anticipate that price is going to push lower, at least to break this low, because it's the whole structure is basically forming lower highs, lower lows. So a push down, breaking this low, maybe even coming to test the bottom of structure. Now this also looks nice because we're getting what looks like a corrective pattern or a bearish flag pattern. Okay, looking for price here to move down, impulse down, correct, and then looking for, and again, there's more than one way to trade this, but potentially a close outside of this counter trend line of CTL, a bearish close preferably, could then be the confirmation of the start of the move down, which we're looking for. Okay, so if you are a conservative trader or a less aggressive trader, you'll be looking for the confirmation and break below and close below this counter trend line, and then you could take it as though, okay, well, that is showing me that the sellers are now in charge of the market, and you can look for a sell setup. If you're a little bit more aggressive, what you can look for is because price here has broken this high here, if you think of a correction as another trend but in the opposite direction to the bigger trend, so this bigger trend is down, our correction is basically an uptrend, higher highs, higher lows here. We've made a higher high, so now we can be looking for price to start to reverse to push towards this counter trend line and form at least a higher low. But of course we're looking at the bigger picture, and we know that potentially it could break through this counter trend line and make a brand new low in the bigger structure. So you could be looking for smaller changes of cycle on Cad Yen. Now we've broken this high, or look for a reversal pattern. There's absolutely nothing at the moment from what I can see. No, not really. This is just the 15-minute. So yeah, there's nothing really there at the moment. As you can see, we haven't changed trend. We have this lovely impulse here. You can see this correction pattern. Nice impulse again. This could even be a correction pattern, and we could still see another move up. But there's no change of cycle yet. There's a nice little bit of a 15-minute support there, as you can see. So one thing you could do is basically look for this type of price action, that impulsive move down and pullback and then rejection. So maybe something like this. I can just draw it in. Try my best for you guys. A change of cycle, and then something like an Indian star pattern, look to sell, and then hoping that pushes towards this counter trend line and then potentially break out through the bottom. So start looking for changes of trend on the smaller time frame if you've got the time to do that, because obviously, you know, looking at 15-minute time frames can be very time consuming. Maybe set an alert below this low here, so you know you don't have to keep looking at the chart. If you're looking to sell, well, obviously price is going to start making lower lows, lower highs. You want to put an alert below either that low there or this low here. I would suggest this low here. If you just look, this is resistance, support. So maybe if I just put that in there, maybe an alert round about, we'll say 99.40, and then once price breaks that low, and obviously you're looking for it to close below that low, you're then looking for that pullback, retest, and a rejection. So that's the, you know, you're going to get the bigger reward to risk like that. Obviously, if you don't have the time to do that, then you're just going to be waiting for a close below the CTL and then looking for a sell setup. Euro yen, kind of the same really. So in this descending channel, we've got price above this counter trend line at resistance, and yeah, you know, whether we're going to see some strength in the yen, I don't know, because both Cad Yen and Euro yen are in technically looking for sell setups. So you know, we could be seeing some strength in the yen if these play out. But again, this isn't as nice as Cad Yen, you know, really, but it's still the same play when it comes to the less aggressive approach, and that is to look for a close below the trend line. And what I would say is, because there's a clear horizontal, I'm going to draw that zone a little bit bigger. There is a clear horizontal support there. So this is the 4-hour chart. A 4-hour close, I would suggest, below this low, and I'm just going to drop a little alert in there. So I will get an alert if we break this low here, and then I can monitor price. If we have a bearish close below this low, that would be nice. Then I'm going to potentially read that as the start of the move down. As you can see, the move down here, very, very nice. This one, very, very sharp indeed. And yeah, we could have the same, who knows. But alert set, and the great thing about alerts is that, you know, you don't have to keep looking at the charts. You have an idea, you have a bias of what you think is going to happen. You don't want to be staring at the charts, every 5 minutes or every, minute of the day. Just set your alerts when they go off. If they go off, you can come to your charts and you can see what's going on, and then you can make a decision about what you want to do. Okay, so Euro USD, short-term shorts I'm looking at potentially. That's what it looks like anyway. And then longs, Kiwi Cad, looking for longs on Kiwi Cad, only looking for longs really on Kiwi Cad. Cad Yen, looking for those shorts, and Euro Yen, looking for shorts as well. I hope that at least one of those charts was of interest to you, if not more, or all of them even. Guys, what would be great is if you could give us a like on this video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe as well. If you know any other traders that may be interested in the information that we send out for absolute free, then please share the videos as well, or share the channel on YouTube to people who you may think are interested, because we are trying to grow our, I was going to say our fan base, but certainly our base of people who follow us. We'd like to get out to as many people as possible and help as many people as possible. So you could help us do that, and that would be great. So from me, Nolan, and the team, have a great rest of your evening, and have a good day tomorrow, Friday, for the last day of trading. And we'll speak to you again in the next video.